Hi everybody, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for everyone who's taking part in the Evo Spring Skin Reset. I'm Kirstie, founder of Evo, and this afternoon I'm welcoming you to my garden. I'm isolating here in France on the coast near Biarritz. It's very warm. I know it's warm for you today, lots of you today in England as well. So that fits in perfectly with my plan for the week actually, because today we're going to talk about body brushing and we're going to make a exfoliation scrub using sugar, salt and oil. Either sugar or salt, you don't need both. So we're going to move straight on, otherwise the videos get too long. If you've got any questions about anything, some of you have been, you can obviously email me, message me on Instagram, I'll get back to you. So I wanted to talk, summer's coming, spring's here. You can probably hear the birds in the background. I'm going to grab this. I wanted to talk to you about body brushing. I think it's something that we all kind of hear about and we think, oh yeah, we should do that. But actually once you're reminded to do it and you start doing it consistently, it just gives you the most amazing results. And once you've bought a brush, it's free. So lots of trials, big trial last year about how effective it is. It really does work. So I'd urge you whilst you're at home to re-pick it up if it's something you've let lapse, or if you've never tried it before, definitely give it a go. Now I'm using a sisal body brush. I actually bought this in a supermarket here. I've also got a mitt that I can use, a sisal mitt, or you can use any kind of brush. You can use a nail brush, that just takes a bit longer because it's a smaller surface area obviously. And if you're really stuck and you just want to give it a go, you can use a dry towel, because it's anything with a texture that's really going to help with remove dead surface skin, but also it's more about the motion of applying an upwards movement, which I'm going to talk about. So it's really simple. Again, don't get too hung up on the method. The only thing you really need to always be doing is doing strokes towards your heart. So for example, that would be upwards on your arm. Really main areas to focus on are legs, and I'm going to try and demonstrate in my shorts in the garden, but really it's just going to be upward movements, and I tend to spend quite a lot of time on any cellulite prone areas. We all tend to have them in the same area, so around here I'd spend extra time there. But really just starting with your hands, starting at your hand, you're going to go up your arm. And again, there is no specific technique. It's not about tiny strokes, it's not about long strokes. I actually do a mixture all over. I pay attention to my elbows, anywhere you can get dry skin. And I like to do this bingo wing underarm. It really helps to keep that area toned. You can use quite firm brushes. I'm used to it, so firm strokes work for me, and you can really feel that invigorating circulation coming in, and of course you're smoothing off dead skin cells at the same time, so really prepping your skin for the absorption of anything you put on afterwards. So just working hand to shoulder, tension on the elbow, and I always lift up and do this dreaded area here. And you can feel that's really getting the blood flowing into there. So with your for working on your legs, you definitely want to be able to lift your foot up onto a chair. The side of the bath is normally what I do. It's actually too dark to film in my bathroom, so that's why I've moved outside. Plus we're going to get a bit messy with the exfoliation later, so I'm hoping you can see this as much as possible. So I just really get to a situation where I've got one leg bent and I'm starting at the foot, and I'm working up from the ankle. There's a bee coming across my screen. From the ankle, so I do the foot around the ankles, and then working ankle to knee would be the first section. Change hands so that you can get to the areas you need to. Spend time over the knee, don't ignore the knee, and then you're going to come up and do all of this area. And whilst we're being brave and doing makeup free, I couldn't really put my bikini on and work more around the glutes, but I think you know what to do with that. So the inner thigh, the under leg, along the top, and spend some time. People always say how long. Depends how long you've got. You know, 2 minutes is absolutely fine. You'll get a lot of benefit from that, and it's more important to be doing it regularly than spending 10 minutes and doing it once in a blue moon. So I think that's probably all I need to say about the body brushing. It's really energizing. So not just on a skin level, but on a well-being level as well at the moment. I think if we're lounging around a bit more, we're not getting out and about so much, if you're starting to feel sluggish, it's a real mood booster as well. So I would really encourage you to get motivated to do that. So the next thing is one of my favorite things to do, and Ebo doesn't produce a body polish or a body scrub for the simple reason that they are so easy and safe to make at home. And I just think it's something you don't really need to be spending your money on when it comes to skincare. So what I will use is, I've got my trusty, things are going to fall over here, my trusty small bowl that you've seen me use through the week. And I actually don't have any salt at the moment. I only have sugar, and that will work just as well. Again, it comes down to a bit of personal preference. If you like the really thick granulated salt, if you're more used to it, that can be a little bit more painful. Sugar's fine to start with, so we're just going to go with that. So I'm going to pour out, it's spilling everywhere. I'm going to pour out a good amount, because you can keep this anyway and use it every day for the rest of the week. So pouring out into there. Now the perfect match for this is obviously going to be my circulation boosting, fluid draining, essential detox body oil, but you don't need to use that at all. You could use a sunflower oil, a coconut oil, an olive oil. Any oil you've got is absolutely fine. I think sesame, the smell is quite strong, so yeah, probably an unscented one if you have, or one that you've got with oils in yourself. So obviously for me it's easy, I'm just going to squirt that in. Here comes the helicopter, that's good timing. The police are flying over to survey the beaches all the time, so it's going to be a bit noisy in a minute, but we can get started. I've just squirted the oil in. I'm just going to mix that up with my hands. I'll go quiet whilst he flies right over. Oh, actually he's quite high, it's okay today. So I think that's probably still a bit dry. It's just still a bit crumbly. We're going to put some more oil in there. It's a bit about personal preference, trial and error. Yes, that's better. I can show you in a minute that this is going to work better. Okay, so now we've got this consistency, less crumbly, sticking more together a bit. So with this, again, there's no real science for applying, except to say that you really want to cup your hand to hold the product. If you do it on a flat hand and apply it, it's just going to fall off and go everywhere. So I tend to try and cup my hand. I am going to show you on my leg, because that's the most effective place to do this. So, am I in shot? Yes, so a cupped hand, and you're just going to work that in circular movements, and you can see it is actually staying on there as well, and it feels lovely. And again, around the knee, anywhere you've got hard skin or are prone to hard skin, pay special attention. And obviously all down the shins, which can be really dry after winter, in boots or tights or socks. We want to really prep them to have this beautiful summer sun that's on our way. So when you've rubbed that in all over, and again, you could do this, I really would suggest you do this in the shower or the garden, but wearing less clothes so you could work more of your glutes and hip area, and not forgetting your feet, of course. And then I've got, because we're outside, a bowl of cold water. Now I use cold water because, again, we're thinking about vascular health, and when you get that contraction of when your veins contract in the cold water, that's helping to boost the venous return flow of blood, so boosting circulation. So here goes. It's going to be really cold. Oh, I need to move my espadrille. So I'm just going to pour this over. Ooh. Actually, it's okay because it's so hot here. So we've poured that over, and you probably can't see with the camera setup I've got, oops, that you know, the oil is still left a bit on the skin, on the surface of the skin, and it's repelling the water there. So then you're simply just going to dry that off. I think it would dry quite quickly in the sun here. And make sure that you've got all the salt or sugar off, because that's not pleasant otherwise. And even without putting a moisturiser on afterwards, you can feel that that's so much more deeply moisturised and soft than the other leg. I haven't got a good enough camera setup here to show you in close detail on the skin, but you just have to take my word for it. Give it a go. Like I say, a real mood booster as well when we're sat around, maybe not running around as much as we should do. Please give it a try. Let me know how you get on, and see you tomorrow.